Welcome everyone to Neverwinter on PC. My name is Rainer and today we're going to walk through the developer blogs released today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you would like to see more informational videos about Neverwinter, hit the subscribe button. Some of you might already read the blogs or heard the news or seen videos of other people, but I expect not all of you have. I'm still under NDA, so I can only elaborate what has been officially released in the developer blogs. I'm just gonna condense it a bit for you guys. The devs did not release one, not two, not even three, but 4 full developer blogs about the changes. And that gives you an idea of how big MOD16 really is. So, what are the changes? One that really pops out is that we will have a level cap increase. With MOD16, we'll be able to level up to level 80. And this of course has a lot of effect on many things. One example is that we are getting new powers. But there are more things of course. Second, also very important, we already knew about the yawning portal with the previous video that was released, the teaser. And with these dev blogs, they actually also mentioned that will be going to the Undermountain area. And the Undermountain area will consist of 5 distinct new areas. And also a new endgame dungeon. So there's a lot of new content with MOD16. Third, we will also get a complete overhaul of classes, powers, feats, statistics and Paragon paths. This mod is really big. So first of all, let's start with the statistics. This one is a pretty big one. Combat calculations have been changed dramatically. Now most primary statistics have an opposing statistic which counters the offensive statistic. Sounds difficult, but we have an example to make this more clear. For example, we take critical strike. And the opposing rating for critical strike is critical avoidance. Before you could just cap out your critical strike to 100% and be done with it forever. Now however, enemies will have critical avoidance, which lowers your critical strike chance. So critical chance is not just based on your own statistics anymore. It also depends on the statistics of enemies. This way the developers can easily introduce new, stronger enemies with higher statistics, offensive and defensive, which are harder to crit against. This opposing roll systems, as I said, works for more of the primary stats. Talking about primary stats, there are also some new statistics introduced in MOD16. Here you can see that what the new statistics will be. The new ones in here are critical avoidance, awareness, and accuracy. Also important, some of the stats that we had before are actually removed from the game. These stats are shown here, so AC is gone, AoE resist, dot resist, regen. Regen is not a statistic on gear anymore, but you have a fixed value out of combat, and recovery, and also lifesteal is removed. Lifesteal and recovery are very big factors. Removing lifesteal and recovery have a big impact on how players play right now compared to how they will play in MOD16. The removal of lifesteal is explained and is a pretty logical one. Before MOD16 our hit points were always either full or empty, because when we took damage it was almost always instantly recovered by lifesteal, except when you got one-shotted of course. This made our health bar pretty useless for endgame players and didn't really give much excitement in endgame content. High recovery was a big thing because it meant it was much easier to spam dailies and encounter powers, which basically meant that those powers couldn't be made too strong and they were kept getting nerf after nerf. Because recovery was removed, they could make those powers stronger again and more impactful compared to at-will powers. So that was the reasoning behind the removal of recovery. Another big thing explained in this dev block is that there are some caps now. Critical chance is capped at 50%, which you can see here, and combat advantage is capped at 100%. This is all I can say right now about the statistics part. When the NDA is lifted, I can elaborate further about how to work with these new statistics in detail. Next up, the classes. There's also a blog about the classes. First of all, class names will be changed to just one word. One outlier here is the Great Weapon Fighter, which will now be known as the Barbarian. The rest are just all remaining names with one of the two words in the name removed. A bigger change is done to the feats. Before we had heroic feats and paragon feats with trees and capstones and a lot of different options there. This whole screen is removed, and now instead we get 5 choices to pick a feat based on which paragon path we took for our class. So this is also a big new effect of your paragon path choice. Talking about this paragon path, in the past the impact of choosing one or the other, it wasn't always very impactful. This changes with MOD16. Paragon path choices will change a lot of powers. You will get unique at-wills, unique encounters, unique dailies, and paragon path choices can even change class mechanics, which you can see down here. Tanking and healing is also often linked to your paragon choice. One example that is mentioned here, the Barbarian now has a guard mechanic if you choose the tank paragon. So the tap mechanic is changed here. Paragon paths really are linked to which role you want to fulfill. And there are 3 distinct roles. You have a tank, a healer, and DPS. And you can see here which roles are available for which class. Each class has a choice of 2, linked to the paragons. Another item, which is a minor one, is that power points are no longer a thing. When you unlock a power, it will automatically be at full strength immediately. You can read their reasoning here. You just need to be able to use your power directly instead of having to struggle to get it. The last block are some minor additional changes mentioned. One is that item level is once again differently determined. Item level didn't really reflect properly what your character's capability was, and with MOD16 it will be different again. We still have to see whether it's better, but it's once again different. It's more linked to rating points, so I guess it will be better. The other thing mentioned here is that scaling has been changed again. Scaling never really worked very well. As people scaled down, they were too strong, and when people were scaled up, they were way too weak. And this has been changed, and I can say that it works a lot more efficient now. That's basically all I can say for now. If you want to reread the blogs for yourself, I'm leaving the links in the description. Any detailed questions, of course, I cannot answer yet. When the NDA is lifted, expect a lot more details about the changes. So that's it for me today. If you have any remarks on this video or any suggestions on what to investigate next, feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.